Hi everybody, I'm Debbie Reynolds with Rocky Mountain Lodge, and today I am excited to share with you a family recipe that's been in our family for decades, but I think it's pretty popular out there anyways. We're going to be making frog eye salad, and when you say the name, some of my grandkids go, "Are they real frog eyes?" And I say, "Tell them, no, they're not frog eyes, but they look like frog's eyes," and so they think it's kind of cool. And so we'll be showing you that. You can find this recipe on our website at rockymountainlodge.com and click on the recipes tab. And you can also find it in our cookbook, Rocky Mountain Lodge and Cabin's More Favorite Recipes. You can also find this on our website. Just click on the gift shop tab. We're currently running a promo of our cookbooks are half off, so you can get this cookbook with 500 recipes, including a free ebook for $10. All right, so check that out. There's 500 recipes in there, and this one is in there. So today, what we're going to start with is we're going to start by making our sauce first. I'll show you about the pasta a little bit later while our sauce is cooking. But I've got my pot hot here. So for our sauce, what we're going to start with is we have 1 3/4 cups of drained pineapple juice, because we're going to need 2 20-ounce cans of chunk pineapples, a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapples, and 3 11-ounce cans of mandarin oranges. So what I did was I just drained all of the pineapple by itself, and then I measured out 1 3/4 cups right here. You get about 3 cups total, and so I just saved the extra to make, or just to drink, or I'll add it to my orange juice and we'll drink it, or I'll just add it to some coconut rum and just drink it. It's a good way to jazz up that pineapple juice by adding some coconut rum to it, wouldn't you say? All right, and so now, we have our 1 3/4 cups of reserved pineapple juice from our pineapple. We have 1 cup of sugar here. We're going to add this to our pot. We have 2 tablespoons of flour, and we are going to mix these two together first. Actually, also a ½ teaspoon of salt. So we're going to combine these together first off, right here, and mix these. Then we are going to add, I also have 2 beaten eggs here, whole eggs beaten. So we're going to put those in there. And our pineapple juice. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, which I squeezed this lemon and I can actually see a little seed in there. So I'm just going to strain that out so I don't get that seed in there. It's about a half of a lemon. Half of a medium-sized lemon is what you need. All right, so we're just going to mix these up, and then we're going to cook these until they get thickened. All right, and so I'm just going to put these over here. And while this is cooking, I'll come back and stir it every so often. I'm going to tell you about the rest of this recipe while this is cooking, and we will come back to this every so often. I know I say this every time I cook on one of these little electric cook plates. I really like cooking on gas better because I have more control. But this works if I don't want to go all the way over to my stove and cook it over the stove for you. So I'll let that cook. So this is one of the other ingredients we're going to need is 1 package. It's a 16-ounce package of acini di pepe pasta. And you just find this in the pasta section. They're little tiny little pasta beads here, but when you cook them, they come out looking like this. And this is where the pasta gets its name, frog eye salad. And so these end up kind of looking like little baby frog eyes. And so we just cook these according to the package directions, and then you drain them. And then to this, while this is cooking, stir it again. It's going to take that a little bit of time there. Then I'm going to get all these out of the way here. To that, I'm going to add our 2 cans of chunk pineapple. You can also use pineapple tidbits if you prefer. I actually like pineapple tidbits a little better, but I happen to have a lot of chunk pineapple, so I use that. 1 can crushed pineapple. These are all 20-ounce cans. And then 3 11-ounce cans of mandarin oranges. So we're just going to put that in there. And I've drained all of these. I drained the mandarin oranges separately and just discarded the syrup because they're just in syrup. And I just don't need lots of heavy syrup in here. I prefer buying the ones that are just in juice. And so I buy the pineapple, cans of pineapple just in juice. So I got pineapple juice. So in here we just have these ingredients here. So we're just going to mix all of these together. And this is going to take a little more time on this burner. I would go over to my stove, but it's kind of a messy area right now. I didn't get it cleaned. It's starting to steam, so it might just take a couple of minutes while that's steaming. So while that is working, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we're going to be making next week. So you can come back next week, which is going to be next Wednesday, May 26th at 2 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time right here. We're going to be making 2 different types of salads and some cinnamon glazed pecans, which are always such a hit. Whenever I make those pecans, they just get scarfed up. I usually make them 2-3 times a year. I'll make them in the summer so I can add them to my salads. My granddaughter who's filming has got this big grin ear to ear on her face because they just like to eat them. And so I'll show you how to make those delicious cinnamon glazed pecans. I make them at the holiday time, and then I also make them in the summer to throw in my salads. And so we're going to make a spinach strawberry salad or strawberry spinach salad. Every time I make that salad, it also has a homemade raspberry vinaigrette, which I'll show you how to make to go along with that. Every time I make the salad, people just rave about it and ask me for the recipe. So I'm going to share that with you next week. And then also a Polynesian chicken salad. So we're going to make 2 different salads, which will be great for the summertime, and those cinnamon glazed pecans. So come back next week while we make those. And so that'll be the 26th. And then we probably won't have we won't have videos for a couple more weeks after that. And then we'll be back with some more summer cooking. So let's see how this is doing. It's starting to thicken just a hair, but we want it to thicken a bit more. So we're just going to keep on doing that. And so while we're doing that, I'm going to add to here a little bit later. I'll just tell you what we're going to add. We're going to add 1 cup of marshmallows and 1 cup of shredded coconut. Now you can do a couple of different things with these. For the coconut, you can also toast the coconut. If you want to give it a little crunch to that, you can toast your coconut and put that in there. And then these marshmallows are actually a little bit on the dry side. They're starting to get kind of dried out in my bag, just leftover marshmallows from something else I was making. But go ahead and use them because they're going to get moistened up with the other ingredients we're going to add. And I need one more ingredient out of the fridge, so I'm going to grab that. I'll tell you about that one later. And so another thing too about mini marshmallows, if you have mini marshmallows that are totally dried up in your bag, don't throw them out. Save them for hot chocolate, because you put them in the hot chocolate and they'll soften right back up and add that great flavor to your hot chocolate. So make sure to save all of those marshmallows even after they get dried up. All right, and so there's all of that. And I also like to sometimes add toasted chopped pecans to this. That also gives it another little dimension. Recipe is going to serve a lot. It's going to serve 24. Come back over here and check on this. So, yep, it's getting there. It needs a couple more minutes, I think. But it's getting heated up and starting to thicken a little bit. And so this recipe will serve 24. So it's great for summer barbecues or picnics or potlucks that you want to go to. It's a great recipe. I sometimes I won't throw pecans in here or any other nuts if I'm taking it to an event like that because I'm not sure if somebody has a nut allergy or not. All right, so this is now just about where we want it to be. So you can see that it's getting thickened. Almost there. It's thickening up. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, I think you probably can. It's starting to thicken, so it just needs another minute. So now what we typically do with this is I would typically let this come to room temperature and before I add it to the salad, but I'm going to show you a quick tip to cool that sauce down quicker. So what you can do is you can just take a bowl, a big bowl, and put ice water in here. So once this is thickened, so then we're gonna chill it. We're gonna fast chill this, this sauce. Okay, so now it's boiling, simmering. So it's almost there. We're gonna add these things together, and then what I have over here, while that's finishing up almost there, is I have a cup of whipping cream that I have whipped. I didn't add any sugar to it because we've already got a whole cup of sugar in here. Plus the pineapple is sweet and the pineapple juice. So I didn't add any sugar to this. You can also just buy a tub of Cool Whip if you want. Once I started making my own whipped cream from scratch, I never went back to making, buying the little tubs of Cool Whip or those toppings. But they will suffice just as well if you don't have regular whipping cream. Okay, so this is pretty thickened. So it's thickened up a bit. You can kind of see it on the edge of the pan here, how it's nice and thick. You can, if I pull it up, it kind of stays and falls slowly. So it's thickened. So now what I want to do, I'm going to take this off the heat, is I'm going to continue to stir this when I put it in my pan of ice water, and this will chill it. Just for time's sake, we're going to chill this quickly. And so I'll just stir it. So you don't want to use just plain ice. If you add water to your ice, it's actually going to make it colder. So it's still hot. You can still see it steaming. But what we would do, the reason why it needs to be cool is because you can actually add it to this now and then put it in the refrigerator and cover it up with some plastic wrap. And then add your whipped cream right before serving time. But for time's sake, I'm going to do this now. So let's see. It's still steaming. I want it to cool off because if it's too hot, it will just melt your whipped cream. But I want to show you the finished product. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve it when I'm all done in a little frog bowl with a little frog spoon that I have here. I bought these when I first... Oh, that's a fork. Thanks, Alyssa. I thought I had a spoon. I do have a spoon. Here we go. There's my frog spoon. I buy these little things when my kids were little and when my grandkids, I think I got rid of all my ones when my kids were little, so I bought some new ones when I had grandkids. And so, yeah, that's a fork. You can eat this with a fork too, actually. So let's see if this is cooled off anymore. It's still steaming a bit, but it is cooling a lot faster. My pan is cold, so I know it's getting there. I just don't want to pour hot stuff in with the whipped cream. You can pour this hot in here now and let it cool and come to room temperature before you add your whipped cream. Sometimes I'll make this part the night before, and then the next day I'll just add the whipped cream, marshmallows, and coconut. All right, so I think this is pretty good. I'm going to actually feel that. It's warm. So if I add it right now, it's still going to melt my whipping cream. But I have this little frog plate set here. I've got a little plate that looks like a frog. And then I've got a little monkey one. And so the grandkids, when they're little, would come over and argue about who's going to get the frog one and who's going to get the monkey one. But then I also have I have some Toy Story ones, Buzz Lightyear, and little princess ones for the girls. So they just have to, excuse me, they just have to take turns. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. Set that down over there. To this right here. And so you need a really big bowl for this because it makes a lot. It's going to serve 24. So we're just going to scrape all of this in here. And then typically you're going to want to let this set. I will usually just make this part the day before and put it in the refrigerator overnight and then add the whipped cream. But if you're in a pinch and in a hurry, you can just bring this to, you can just chill this ahead of time or chill it with ice water. Okay. All right, and so we'll just mix all of this up. Put that little piece back in there. I do wash my table right before we started here. So we'll get this all mixed up. I know it's not too hot because as I'm touching the bowl, it's cool to touch. It's cold. So then we will add our marshmallows. You can hear the little crispiness because they're not totally. And you can also skip the coconut if you want. I have an aunt that doesn't care for coconut, so she makes hers without the coconut. I got this recipe from my Aunt Dory, who used to make this all the time for family gatherings. And I tell you what, being a big Polish family, we have a lot of people in our families. And so when we have big gatherings, you got to have a lot of food when you get all these Polacks together. We're kind of like my big fat Greek wedding, but the Polish version. All right, so we've got those added, and now we're just going to add our whipped cream. And we're just going to fold this in. Get that all in there. Okay. And this will last. It really doesn't last terribly long in the refrigerator because the whipped cream will tend to start breaking down. So I would say about 2 days it's going to be best. Probably 3 or 4 days at the longest it's going to start to break down a little bit. So you just want to make sure that you eat it within a couple of days. So we're going to mix this in. If people are afraid to hear the words frog eye salad, you can just call it a pasta fruit salad. That way they don't think they're frogs. Frog's eyes.
You'd have to get a lot of frog's eyes to make this big of a salad.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I told my little grandson Gabriel yesterday, who's 7, that I was making this, and he goes, "Are they real frog's eyes?" And I said, "No, they're pasta that look like frogs." And he went, "Oh," because I don't know if they would want to eat it if they thought it was frogs. So that is it. So you can see it doesn't take very long to make. It feeds a crowd. Mm-hmm. And here we go. There's our frog eye salad. It'll serve up to 24 people. You can serve it in a little frog bowl if you want. The kids get a really big kick out of this with the frog spoon. And there you have it. Here's our frog eye salad. And so make sure to like this video, share this video, comment in the comment sections any other comments that you want to say about this recipe, any questions that you might have, any future recipes you'd like to see me make. Go ahead and put those in the comment section too. I'm sure I could get around to those. You can visit our website at rockymountainlodge.com to find this recipe on our recipes page and to purchase our cookbook, where you can also find this recipe and 499 other recipes at the gift shop page. All right, so come on back next week, guys, on May 26th. 26th, right? Mm-hmm. 26th, yes. And we'll be making 2 salads, spinach or strawberry spinach salad, a Polynesian chicken salad, and we'll be making my famous cinnamon glazed pecans that you will not be able to get enough of. All right, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.